Good evening, everybody. I just want to bring you up to date and some information I just found out a few minutes ago. Give you some. I promise I give you some smart money tips and go over some more unemployment answers. I'm trying to get back to everybody as quick as I can. If you're new to my channel, consider yourself subscribing to my channel. And if you're already subscribing, well, welcome back. And hopefully, I'm trying to make it as easy as I could, as fun as I could, and keep everybody honest and level-headed here. All right, what I just found out. Let me lower my TV here. Sorry. What I first of all, I'm going to answer some questions too that I'm getting. The big question I'm getting for a lot of you is, or do we have to reapply? This is for regular unemployment and PUA. What I'm hearing, at least from my state, and from some people that are very close to me that I got to know since March, they're pretty confident that you don't have to reapply. It would be nuts, right? To have everybody. I mean, look how long it took in a lot of states last time to implement it. So I would say no, shouldn't have to reapply. In my previous videos, I was pretty confident though that it'd be I said about a gap. I've been saying about this gap. Every state's going to have a gap, and some states are going to be a little longer. What I'm hearing is PUA is going to be quicker than regular UI as far as the gap. The gap, again, now I don't want anybody to think that I'm knocking the president, but what I'm reading, I don't know if you guys have took time to read or listen to other videos. The question is it going to still be 11 weeks to March 14th? Yes, it's going to go to March 14th. Or is it going to be 10 weeks, 1 week less, because there was that little delay of Trump signing it? Again, I'm not knocking Trump. You can't say, whatever. I'm not going to get on that. I don't know. I would say it would still be 11 weeks, but there's a chance it could be 10 weeks. We might miss out on this week next week when we go to file your unemployment online. Now, what I'm hearing from my state now, I just heard 20 minutes ago, is that there's a chance that, remember on my last video I said that you can continue filing your state unemployment. In other words, if you're a PUA and you're getting $270 a week, you should be able to file maybe with 1 week missing and a regular UI. But now they're saying there might be a little bit of gap piggybacking with that bonus of the 300. So they still haven't read the bill. Each state still needs to digest, and there's some language in there that still needs to be digested from each state. 100% we're going to get the 300. It's just a time thing. Hopefully I made that clear. Again, it's the treasurer of each state has to read all this stuff. The good news is it's not going to be as complicated as the lost wage assistance, because this is already stimulus is already, if you go on your site, there's a stimulus section, and remember before it had 600, so that's already on there. Now it's just add in the 300, but it's for me, it's an easy thing. You have a team around you, and I think each state was preparing for this. I'm confident they were, but so it should be easier. It shouldn't be that length of time like with the lost wage assistance, because this is a stimulus, not an executive order. Does that make sense? So this should be a little easier. That's on the good news. It's not really any bad news. It's just that delay. Now, the stimulus 600, that should be out, like I said, a week to 10 days to 14 days, depending if you have direct deposit. Now, on some smart money tips. I've done stocks before, and yes, you can make some money. The best advice I can tell you is, if you haven't gotten a house yet, buying a house is the best thing you possibly can. Well, Sal, I can't do anything right now. I'm just saying, when you can, get your credit cards paid up, get your score up, get your debt ratio pretty good, and that's the best thing that you can do, is buy a house. That's the best investment. Houses are always going to go up. You're going to hit a little plateau, but majority of the time, over a period of time, for you young people, get on and get a house when you can, and then try to pay as much mortgage as you can, and that is, for me, is the best investment I could possibly recommend. Now, as far as smart money tips, I just got done saying there could be a delay. I know a lot of us need the money. It's like paying Peter to pay Paul. But did you know, if you have credit cards, if you have a mortgage, if you say you're behind on credit cards, I don't recommend going bankrupt. That is a panic. You call your creditors and you negotiate with them, and a lot of them are still doing defer payments on a credit card. where, and waiving late fees, where they'll just take a payment, put it at the end. You're still responsible to pay it. Try that before you go into bankrupt, please. If you when you get the stimulus check, I know most of us, a lot of us are need that money for food and stuff, but if you can, try to take 10% of it. If you're in a small business, you're a gig worker, open up a business account. A lot of banks, I know Chase is doing it, Wells Fargo. Check your local bank branch. A lot of them will match, so a lot of them are giving you incentives right now. So if you open up a business account, a lot of them if you put 500 in, they'll match you 500. Or if a lot of them are going down on their minimum on a business account, maybe it's 100, they'll match the 100. And if you put in a certain amount every week, linked in your unemployment to that, they'll give you a little bit better interest rate than they would on a checking account. It's just a good way to keep money in that account, so when things, and I'm optimistic, things will get better, people. I know it looks horrible right now, but it will get better. Excuse me. So try to put 10%. When we start getting that $300 boost, let's take 10% and put it in that rainy days fund, a business account. If you don't have a business account, check into like a small IRA. A lot of them went down on their IRA. It used to be $500. Now I think they went as low as $200. Maybe look into an IRA Roth. Things like that. If you're now remember, people, if you collecting unemployment, let's say you made $20,000 so far in unemployment, you do need to claim that and contact your tax advisory and let them know. The unemployment will be sending stuff out in the mail as it gets closer to, within a week or two, and you have to claim that. Again, in my previous videos, there'll be a lot of write-offs this year. I'm not a tax guy, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. But you do need to claim that. So I don't want anybody to be shocked when, oh my God, I got to claim that. That is taxable income, not the stimulus. Stimulus you do not have to claim. The one we got $1,200 before, the lost wage assistance, you don't have to claim that on taxes. And now that this $300 that we're going to get for 10 weeks or 11. So that's the update. These are good smart money tips. And another thing, if you don't trust the banks, or I would suggest just to take the 10% or even 5% and just take that and put it in a safety deposit box, and you'd be surprised on, each time, try not to touch it. So if we run into a situation where I believe we will get another stimulus package and it takes a gap of 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 6 weeks, you have that money. Maybe it'll be $1,000, maybe it'll be a mortgage payment, a rent payment, or food. I also said to check out for grants. There'll be some more grants on this upcoming weeks. A lot of you are asking about to apply. I don't have the answer to that yet. On the PPP money for small business, if you're Uber driver, Lyft driver, personal trainer, hairdresser, nail stylist, anything like that, babysitting, there should be some more grants. If you didn't get one before, you might be eligible this time on there. So I'm trying to think of the other questions. Well, credits. So on PUA, I know like on my wife's PUA, they added most of the credits, but it's not enough until March 14th. So I told her, you have to call and remind them. It might be too early because, again, the bill's passed, but it hasn't reached your state. So when it reaches your state, say a week, give it a week, call them and say, hey, I only have $1,000 credit. Credit is your money, so I need more money. And they know that, but call them, desperate. Stay on the phone, and if you have to cry and tell them you're on your last leg. Get those credits on there, because you're going to need those credits, because you're still going to get the 300, but you're still eligible for your state. People realize you're still going to get your state unemployment. That's piggybacking with this, so that's very important. Get the number and call. Again, wait a week. So I'm just being honest. I don't want to lie to you people. There's definitely 100% going to be a gap. So depending on the state. So those are my money tips. If you're into stocks, then go ahead. And I'm just saying, with stocks, yes, you can be very good on stocks. It takes a little bit of money sometimes, but it is a risk, right? So I'm just being upfront with you. Let me have a little sip of wine. I told you people, I'm a little different from the other ones. I like my wine. I'm Italian. What can I say? I like a good cigar. I like smoking an Ashton VSG. And like you guys care, but I'm just letting you know. If there's any more money tips you guys are into, again, the easiest thing is the safety deposit box. Look into your business accounts. if you're a Lyft driver, Uber driver like that, open them up. They really come down on their, and the banks are desperate. They want money. They want money in the bank, right? So looking at that, if you're late on your mortgage, I understand they're still giving some. Be careful with the forbearance people, but I know some banks are still giving some defer payments. Call your bank. I know Kerrigan, which is my bank, they're not doing it, but they're giving other, other things. Work with them. It's still a pandemic, you know. They're not going to foreclose. Just as long as you communicate with them and let them know where you stand. They know the stimulus package got it passed, so let them know. Hey, there's going to be some time here. Remind them. They know that I'm going to be getting this in a few weeks. Can you give me some time? Don't waive the late charges. They'll maybe defer a payment. Okay, your car payment. You're allowed 2 or 3 defer payments. But now with the pandemic, maybe you have to speak to the supervisor. Maybe they'll give you another deferred payment. I'm just trying to give you some tips so we can get by. Try to avoid bankruptcy. And people, remember, tomorrow's another day. Say hello to somebody. If you like my channel, hit the like button. Please share the video. Please consider subscribing to my video. This is good news, right? We are getting more money. It's not the 2000. And by the way, the 2000 is still not rolled out. Again, I brought you up to date. The Senate is voting on it. Of course, they went home already, but tomorrow we should have an answer. Again, it would be $1,400 to the $600. It won't be $2,600. It'll be $1,400 extra. Hopefully I answered all your questions. That won't be a hold up, so don't worry about that. Even if they do have to negotiate for the rest of the week, don't panic. Oh my God, now they're going to change their mind again. No, it's signed. Trump signed it. So leave your comments. I'll get back to you when I can. Thank you for watching.